Welcome to Cynic Critique, where we get real with cult films. I'm your host, Thomas, and this might be my brother and co-host, maybe my bro-host, Brian.
Hello, maybe it's me.
And paranoia has certainly sank in as we discussed 1951's The Thing from Another World, 1982's The Thing, and its prequel 2011's The Thing.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly? Baffling questions, astounding questions.
So The Thing, 1951. In fact, it's just easier for me to preface this, is that all these films are based on a novella called Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr. And now his name doesn't have to be said again. Unless it needs to be.
Unless we want to use the name that we've written, the pseudonym that he used, which was Don A. Stewart.
Okay.
That's what I'll be referring to him as.
Okay, great stuff. Brilliant. So The Thing from Another World, 1951, made on a budget of 1.6 million and a gross of 4.25 million. Directed by Christian Nyby, if I'm pronouncing his name right. And Howard Hawks, who goes uncredited. Written by Charles Lederer, with uncredited help, I guess, from Howard Hawks, the uncredited director, and also Ben Hecht, if I'm to pronounce his name correctly. It stars Margaret Sheridan as Nikki, Kenneth Tobey as Captain Patrick Henry, Robert Cornthwaite as Dr. Carrington, Douglas Spencer as Scotty, James Young as Lieutenant Eddie Dykes, Dewey Martin as crew chief. I don't think he really gets a name. This is the confusing one. Robert Nichols as Lieutenant Ken Erickson, but they refer to him as Mac in the film.
Yeah.
You've got some correction on that through Wikipedia if you want to do that now. Or no? Because he has another name on Wikipedia, credits him as what they actually call it.
McPherson.
Yes.
Yeah.
McPherson.
I mean, who do actually call him
yeah.
that's the thing, but mainly Matt.
Yeah. William Self, just in case you didn't know he was somebody else, is Corporal Barnes, Edward Friend as Dr. Stern, Sally Creighton as Mrs. Chapman, and here's the thing, James Arness. That meant he was the Thing in this feature, if you didn't know.
Right.
And the synopsis as IMDb has it is, scientists and American Air Force officials fend off a bloodthirsty alien organism while at a remote Arctic outpost.
Which, again, doesn't really have to be said again.
Why? It's not always American Air Force officials, is it?
No.
Do you want to start the conversation on this and then with your thoughts?
After watching the 82 one first, maybe even without watching the 82 one first, this is quite a disappointing film.
My biggest problem with it is, and I think I said it the first time I watched this, is it's just Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's essentially Frankenstein.
Yeah. I love the fact that they felt they didn't have the budget to do a shapeshifter, which to me is one of the easiest things to do.
Yeah.
It's like,
you don't have to show the chain.
Yeah, it's like, now they look like this guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason they were like, nah, can't be bothered.
Some of my favourite things in this film, I took great note writing them. Scotty, when he comes at the beginning of the film, he's the journalist, the newspaper man, they call him. They say he's the newspaper man.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite things they call him when he turns up is, he's a warm weather man. He didn't bring the warm weather with him though, did he? And also the guy that's not Mac but is Mac but not Mac doesn't do much Mac stuff.
No.
He's not particularly the cool guy.
No.
That seems to go to Captain Pat Henry.
Yeah.
He flies to the science base. And he's got a girlfriend, Nikki. But they get the information of the, I think it's an electromagnetic thing, on their radars. Dr. Carrington suspects that the crash is not a meteor or a plane.
It was Superman.
No, it's just a bird. A very, very big bird. No, I just find it kind of odd that they can narrow it down that it's not a meteor or a plane.
Right.
I guess they don't do much explaining into how. They just know. But when they go to where it is, they all decide that they're going to spread out to shape the size of the ship.
Yeah.
And they just basically stand in a circle because it's a bloody flying saucer.
Yeah.
So they're all stood in a circle. And there's like a little fin sticking out the ice. And somehow they know that it's no metal that they know. It must be a new alloy. And then they decide they're going to blast it out with thermite bombs. And they all start trekking around the little ice rink, putting some thermite down. Because that's a great idea when you stood on the ice. I just found that quite funny.
I find the whole film quite funny.
Yeah, it is a bit. But what's great, though, is with it being a 50s film, everyone has that perfect radio voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all little Humphrey Bogart, but never as good.
When you say that, I imagine like 3 foot tall Humphrey Bogart is running around a little facility.
Yeah. Just a cloned fleet of Humphrey Bogart cut off at the knees. But I just like how they've all got this like great little radio voice, and it makes it watchable because they've really got these charming voices. Even though their dialogue is pretty oddly cheap sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great dialogue.
Do you have an example?
Oh, I've got a few.
I thought you would.
We can see the thing in the ice. It has crazy hands and no hair. It looks like its eyes are seeing things. That was my favourite one. I had another one somewhere. No, I had some notes on my phone as well. I've deleted that.
Sounds like you.
Well, there it is. When they're inspecting its DNA, and they're like, well, bullets don't affect it. And it's like, you just described a vegetable. What are we talking about? A super carrot? This might not be verbatim, but it is very close. And then somebody says, this thing managed to construct a spacecraft. Somebody then pipes up, an intellectual carrot, as you can see.
The
Carrot.
moggles.
That and carrots are clearly someone's favourite vegetable.
Yeah.
And maybe just pure coincidence they chose a phallic-shaped one. I think most people would go potato. It's odd though, because the actor was embarrassed to wear the Thing costume prosthetics, James Arness.
Yeah.
He said he was walking around set looking like a giant carrot. So it makes me wonder, because obviously it's not in colour, it's in black and white.
Yeah.
Was the Thing orange?
Might have been.
For the fact that he's like, I look like a giant carrot, because his silhouette isn't particularly any different to Boris Karloff's Frankenstein.
No.
And you wouldn't go like, he's carrot shaped.
In my head now, you've got like green hair and all.
Oh man. But he had no hair, Thomas. He had crazy hands and no hair. And his eyes looked like they were seeing things.
Poor guy.
All I'm saying is the 81 one is a big step up.
Well, the 82 one, like.
Sorry, 82. It's because the film we just watched is 81. No spoilers there. But I particularly like that Dr. Carrington wants a chance to communicate with it after they've already shot it and angered it and it's killed someone. Carrington's like, we should try and communicate with it and be peaceful, because like I can understand the predicament it's in. We've basically attacked it and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, that all makes sense. But he doesn't go round what I would say is a little intellectual way of trying to communicate with it. While it's clearly charging at them, he decides he's going to just walk up to it and yell in its face.
And what would you do?
I would write messages on a board like in Love Actually.
I'd do a John Cusack and get a boombox.
And blast a podcast on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be our podcast, but a podcast.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
No. But maybe. But I'm really confused about the IMDb credit with not Mac.
Well, we credited as in the credits of the film as well. I had a Wikipedia where the one where like, but that's not what he's taught. So thank you to whoever put that on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Because I don't even think it's in the trivia on IMDb.
Well, another strange thing about character names in this is a couple of guys, they get killed in the greenhouse and they're not even seen in the film. They're not even credited anywhere. And their names are Orbach and Olsen.
Strong names.
Yeah.
I like the fact Olsen's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the prequel for the Carpenter one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, whoever those two guys are, they're my favourite characters.
Yeah. Not in relation to what's in the film, but something I do enjoy about this film and the other two we're discussing is that apparently the skeleton crew at the South Pole Telescope Station have a tradition every winter of watching this movie and the other two adaptations on the very first night after the departure of the final plane of the season. I imagine they all get cozy around a fire, pour their hot cocos, and get in for a triple movie marathon of the things. And no work gets done. Obviously, I've got 3 films.
They're also there to hide no work. All work and no play.
No, that's The Shining. You're mixing up your films. The Shining's superior to nearly all of these. In fact, it is superior to all of these.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll die on that hill.
You die there.
I just said I will.
I'm just letting you know. I'm going to let you die there.
Apparently, this movie is also one of the films that inspired Ridley Scott, Tobe Hooper, John Carpenter, and John Frankenheimer in their filmmaking careers.
Yeah.
And then obviously Carpenter got to remake it.
Yeah.
And apparently I think it's the director of this one, didn't like the Carpenter film.
No.
Which I find funny.
Yeah.
I think he was just bitter that he made a better film.
He was probably like, oh wow, they got a shapeshifter in this.
Yeah. And the scene I mentioned about them circling the saucer, that was filmed in San Fernando Valley on a ranch. So I'm guessing not snowy.
No.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of potato flakes. I think it's potato flakes they used for snow back then.
But they do believe it was snowy.
Oh yeah.
And in black and white.
They had me fooled, I tell you. It was only when the film was closing and the credits rolled and it told me that actors were playing characters did I realise it wasn't a documentary. They really had me fooled. They did.
I thought they might have.
Idiot. There were also close-ups of the things supposed to be in this film.
Yeah.
And they took them out because they thought that the creature wouldn't hold up on close-up shots.
Well, it looked like a carrot. What do you expect? No, they weren't really happy with the overall effects, were they?
I mean, can you blame them? They basically did like a cheaper looking version of Frankenstein, which was 20 years before them?
Yeah.
What year is this? 51?
Yeah.
The black and white Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, 31.
About 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on this you want to share?
Oh, when you see the thing in its block of ice, doesn't look anything like a carrot. Well, it doesn't look anything like the Frankenstein
Is that all you want to
looking
say?
thing.
Of course not. It's a big square of ice.
Well, no, you get like a bit of a close-up of it, and it don't really look like that. Like, you can see its crazy hair and stuff.
But it has no hair, Thomas.
It had crazy hair and big eyes.
It's got no hair.
It's got eyes.
They said it had no hair and eyes that looked like it was seeing things.
Well, this description had eyes like almonds or something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Eyes like almonds. That's just the shape of their eyes. Carrots don't have almond eyes.
No, they don't. Carrots don't have eyes, but they help you see in the dark.
Whether that's got to do with anything, I don't know.
Oh, when characters have conversations in this, the dialogue sort of overlaps to try and make it feel like a realistic conversation, but when the dialogue is really bad anyway, it don't really help, does it?
Yeah, I think it just adds to the comedy of it. It'd make a really good stage play, I think. This version. But they all have to do Humphrey Bogart voices.
You say Howard Hawks was uncredited?
As director and writer, yeah.
But he's the director of the original Scarface.
Ah, okay.
And his Go Friday.
That's interesting because the credited director, Christian Nabai,
was the editor on those.
He was the editor on To Have and Have Not and The Big Sleep. Both, I think they're both Bogart films. Right. The Big Sleep's definitely a Bogart film. But he directed quite a bit of television, including $6 Million Man, Kojak, and my favourite, Lassie. And the writer, Charles Ledera, if I'm saying that right,
something like that.
He wrote Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, His Girl Friday, and the original Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Pretty rad, man.
Yeah, so I don't really know what was happening with this film because I don't think
it's not, is it? I wonder if he just signed off on it so his studio got I know that man's name.
I don't know. I think they had higher hopes than what they thought it would turn out like.
Maybe. I mean, there's a strange part, and I don't really feel it's needed anywhere, but we learn Dr. Carrington's got a Nobel Prize. I don't think we learn what for, and I don't particularly feel it's a relevant piece of information.
Making intellectual vegetables.
Oh, right. Like the famous DC character Captain K-Rock.
Yeah, like a rabbit.
Yeah, it was called Captain Carrot.
K-Rock.
Well, there's Banana Man, not a vegetable, but we're close.
Get us a Dark Gritty reboot.
Is there anything else on this you want to share?
Not much, really. like, I'm very kind of like a bad mouth it a bit, but it's not a bad film by any means. I wouldn't really say it's just a bit disappointing, especially when you compare it to the 82 one.
Yeah. Although talking about dialogue though, it's the very final line of this had a big impact on sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because it's the keep watching the skies or something like that.
Yeah. Get it at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No. You get it at the beginning of this episode.
Great.
But then that became quite a prolific
Yeah,
line with sci-fi.
yeah, it got reused.
I want to say it was used on a sci-fi series. Maybe the original Black Skies TV show. But I think that's later than the 50s.
I don't know. I know it got used quite a bit. Probably the most famous thing about this one, I think.
Oh, here we go. I'll just browse the trivia. This explains my problem.
Yeah.
According to makeup artist Lee Greenway, he took James Arness in his car to the house of producer and co-director Howard Hawks to show off the makeup of The Thing. After months of frustration, Hawks told Greenway to put a Frankenstein 31 type of headpiece on him. But I mean, how he's treating the film, it's just too Frankenstein-y for me as well. Frankenstein-y. Not even a word.
No.
It is now.
Great.
You're welcome.
No problem.
Apparently, though, according to Arness and Kenneth Tobin's two stars in this, they said that it wasn't nobody that directed the film but Hawks.
Yeah.
So why'd they have to drive him to his house after months of makeup? Seems a bit contradictory to me.
Yeah. Does seem a bit odd. I think Hawks just didn't want credit on it, and maybe thought, I can get some work from this.
Yeah, maybe. There is a great thing in this film, because I think it's one of the biggest at the time, but it's the Burning Man stunt where they set the creature on fire.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that if it's in the trivia or not, but it looks pretty big for its time for the amount of fire on him. Good shot, though, when he runs out into the snow with the fire on him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Looney Tunesy for me.
It's quite a comical film.
It really does almost feel like a strange parody of Frankenstein set in an Arctic setting.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if no one made him and he just shows up in the snow? And they're like, how do we do that? It's like he came from space. And it's like sorted.
Yeah.
It just really does feel like that more than an actual. I need to read the short story. I really do. Or the novella, whichever you want to prefer calling it.
Novel, I think.
Is there anything else you want to say on this?
Nah. Happy to move on.
Okay. Do your thing.
Ben Grimm.
No.
No.
Not today, please.
Michael Chiklis as The Thing from 2005's fantastic book.
It's clobbering time.
Sorry. I'm just going to talk about The Thing, 1982.
For 100,000 years, it was buried in the snow and ice. Now it has found a place to live. Inside. Where no one can see it, or hear it, or feel it.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it.
Directed by John Carpenter. Amazing director.
Sure.
Written by Bill Lancaster. Obviously based on the book by yada yada yada.
Yeah, I said we don't have to repeat that. These are all based on that.
Yeah.
Who goes there?
Yeah. And it stars Kurt Russell as MacReady, Wilfred Brimley as Blair, Keith David, Childs, Richard Massa, Clark, T.K. Carter, Knowles. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
I'll go through them all.
Yeah.
David Clennon, Palmer, Richard Dysart and Dr. Copper, Charles Hallahan, Norris, Peter Maloney as Bennings, Donald Moffat as Gary, Joel Polis as Fute, and Thomas G. Waits as Windows. But it'll always be Fox to me.
From the Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just like calling him Fox. He looks like Fox. It's a weird thing to say. The synopsis off IMDb is a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims. Oh yeah, the budget is 38 million. No, the budget, I'll put it up there, is $15 million and it grows, get this,
10.
No.
15.
No.
17.
No.
20.
Yeah, 20 million $836 and $881. Didn't do too bad, I guess, but should have done way better.
Do you know my first problem with this movie? Not the best way to open with a classic.
No, it's really not.
It's the shot of the spaceship at the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And they do it in Predator as well.
Yeah. Two films that I learned that you don't like as much as I thought you did. So we're off to a very upsetting start here. By aiming two films I really love, and you tell me you don't love them as much as I thought you did. Which already makes me think you're not the real Brian.
I mean, I love one thing I really like this one, and it might be my favourite detail in the film.
Kurt Russell's beard.
No.
Oh.
No. Noel's playing Superstition by Stevie Wonder. And it's at the moment the dog enters the cabin, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
All premises.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favourite detail within the whole film. One detail I don't like, and it's partly on my fault. I forget Keith David is bald.
You're judging a film because Keith David is bald?
No, it's not. I'm not judging the film on that. I'm saying it's a detail I don't like, and it's partly my fault because I forget that detail. It affects the film in no way. But I always...
I heard about you were knocking stars off it, but...
I always get shocked when that bald head comes walking in. So, oh no. He's got no hair in this.
Wow. So what you gave it is 2 stars, and it just said Keith David was bald.
2 stars, that's a bit generous.
Get it out. Go die on that hill.
I love this film. What a horrible thing to say. I don't love it as much as you do.
It's a great film. I just can't believe it's from the writer Bill Lancaster.
Why?
Did you look him up?
No.
You should have looked him up.
Did he make the Lancaster plane?
Not that I know.
Oh.
But the only other thing the only other thing.
He works on the 2011 one?
No.
Yeah, he did the 50s one.
No.
He wrote the book.
No.
I give up.
You should.
Ben Grimm.
No. No, I can't even word this properly without using the word thing for whatever reason. But some other stuff he wrote is The Bad News Bears.
I still need to see that film.
That's like all he did. It's The Thing.
Jackie Hill Hader's in it.
And The Bad News Bears.
Okay.
Which sounds like a better thing than it is.
I believe it's a baseball movie. It's got Jackie Hill Haley in it.
I don't know, but I thought you were like, wow, Bad News Bears and The Thing. Just polar opposites in my head.
It might be the same, you just know.
It's a more realistic version of The Thing, and it's just a bear going around killing people.
I think you've ruined this baseball movie. I'm sure it's a baseball movie.
It's a baseball team that get killed by a bear.
No.
No. True, it does say bears and not one bear.
You just surprised me about what John Carpenter's directed.
Yeah. Believe it or not, he did John Carpenter's Vampires.
Great film. Yeah, love it.
He did, would you believe it, Escape from New York.
I can believe that.
You will not believe this one then. Escape from LA.
Yeah, I don't believe that one.
No.
That definitely feels like somebody else trying to do John Carpenter.
Yeah.
You think he was hitting the head in between?
No. I don't think he'll believe this one either. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh my God. Anybody would start to think he's got a crush on Kurt Russell.
Who hasn't? Well, go get one.
Where do I buy them?
They can't be bought.
How do I acquire one?
You just see Kurt Russell and you think he's a great guy.
I've seen Kurt Russell. I've thought of a great guy. Haven't acquired a crush on him.
What kind of guy are you?
I don't know, but I can tell you. Have you seen Tequila Sunrise?
Yeah.
It's Kurt Russell is most handsome.
So also Mel Gibson at his most handsome.
Probably. And Michelle Pfeiffer at her most handsome.
Oh, what a handsome woman.
Handsome used to be quite commonly used to describe women. I don't know what happened in that.
I don't know. It became more of a male descriptor.
Yeah.
How do we get onto this?
Kurt Russell.
What a guy. He's took over the podcast. Do you want to just talk about Kurt Russell?
No.
No.
I haven't seen enough of them, and I don't like enough of them.
What?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It's a horrible thing to say. He's Santa Claus.
He's Stuntman Mike.
He is.
I love that guy. What a great character. What an underrated Tarantino movie that is as well.
Yeah. I think all Kurt Russell movies should have The Thing in it as a subplot.
No.
No.
Let's not do that.
I think it'd be great.
Anyway, what do you want to say about this one?
It's a great film. Move on.
Well, okay. You don't like it all that much, do you?
I love it. No. The effects working, that's great, aren't they?
To a point.
Is it the green blood?
No.
The green blood really upsets me.
No. It's the fact they don't move.
They do move.
No, they move, but they don't move. They wobble about and they whack some tentacles.
I'm gonna hey, you just whacked in your arms at me a second ago. You were like, they do this and whacked at your arm. But I kind of got what you meant. It was kind of threatening, but at the same time, you weren't coming any closer.
Exactly. I just find it an unbelievable threat because, like, the concept, pretty damn good, should be scary. But when it just things out, for lack of a better term, it just stays on the spot and flails about and just shoots some tentacles. But, like, it doesn't really do it for me as a horror in that way. I like the suspense it creates. I love the effects of it. I just wished it had more movement. There's the part near the end when they're in that little cave and Kurt Russell jumps back like he's going to be scared of it. Don't even chase him. It just stands there and let him blast it with a flamethrower.
Yeah. It was in awe of Kurt Russell. It saw Kurt Russell in his almighty beard and just...
Look, the effects works
shivered in its boots.
Are great. They're some of the best effects works. And
Yeah.
the fact they're practical.
Yeah.
Brilliant. They look great. I just need a bit more movement in them. Bring back the man in the suit.
No, that's what John Carpenter was against. He didn't want a man in a suit. He wanted something that looked like an alien.
Yeah, but we could have had a man in a suit to move the prosthetic about.
He didn't want a man in a suit.
Like, it's not long after the dog gets there, they put the dog in the pen with the other dogs, and that starts stinging out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's a great bit.
oh, we're about to get something. And then it just, like, spurts some water on another dog.
Yeah.
And then you get a shot of it. I think it's after they've shot it or just blasted some fire at it. I can't remember what they do to it. And the thing, like dog, looks kind of sad and you feel sorry for it. And then it decides it's growing some massive weird alien insecty arms out.
Yeah.
And it just climbs up.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very linear slow motion. It's not anything to be afraid of. They probably could have blasted them arms off.
But they were in awe of how amazing it looked.
Okay. You think everyone and everything is in awe of Kurt Russell or the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why they kind of get a standpoint. They can't really do anything to each other.
I mean, the end of this film, though, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely brilliant. I like a lot of this film. It is really just the fact the creature doesn't particularly pursue in any way. That upsets me.
I love it.
I do like how they chuck... Is it Blair? Wilfred Brimley in that little shed.
Yeah.
I just find it funny how they go and check up on him later and he's got that little noose set up.
Yeah.
Don't mention it, don't talk about dying or...
I think he's great.
Just,
he's great.
and I like it when they go down into the little tunnels at the end and they find that tiny miniature flying saucer that the guy's been working on.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, he's really beat this metal into some good shape for a saucer. Like, where's he been getting it all?
Yeah.
Great resourcefulness.
Yeah.
But they do the circle of ice thing around the flying saucer as well in this one, like in the Victor's one. I'm assuming it's in the book.
Yeah.
Or novel.
Yeah.
Or short story.
Yeah.
The text of which it is based upon.
The words that man put to paper.
Yeah. What man, you say?
We're not allowed to speak his name, apparently.
Don A. Stevens?
Don A. Stewart.
Oh, so close. I think it was a stupid...
That's why I was going to refer to him as anyway. That pseudonym he used to write the book with. His real name is... We're not going to use it.
Slim Shady?
Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
But there's another good special effects bit in this, and it's the bit where the chest cavity opens up and like takes his arms off.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's not long after that we get the head come off, and that's where you're not a fan.
Yeah, the green blood.
I don't remember green blood.
It's green. We watched it in cinema.
I know,
green,
and I watched it the other day, and I don't remember green.
In my head, it was always red, and then when we went in cinema, I just saw it, and it was green, and it upset me. It really upset me.
As in frightened you?
No. I know. I remember this being red and gory and awesome, and then I was just staring at green goo, and I didn't like it.
What I like about the head is when it cracks its whip-like tongue
Yeah.
and pulls itself away so slowly.
Yeah.
and then it sprouts like antenna, like snail eyes.
Yeah.
And then I think it grows like spidery legs
Yeah.
and crawls away slowly.
Yeah.
And then Kurt Russell turns around and sees it and blasts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I love
Oh,
it.
it nearly got away.
Yeah. It's great.
I mean, the famous bit that I think everyone remembers in this, though, is where Kurt Russell's got everyone tied up on chairs and he's testing the blood with the hot wire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it when it things out and doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it is tied to a bench, but I just think it's funny. It's like, one of these is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And you've tied them all together.
Yeah.
How clever.
Yeah.
Yet it's not one of them that gets got in that scene, is it?
Yes.
It's Knowles, isn't it, that gets got at that scene?
I think so.
Or is it Windows?
Hey, window. Yeah. God, I. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure now. Still, Knowles is the best guy for playing superstitious as the dog walks in. Sets the theme of the movie perfectly.
They're one of my favourite characters in it.
Keith David.
Oh, that's undeniable. Like, I think he's great. I do like Blair when he's like, oh, you can't come back in. I've had enough out of you. I want to come back inside.
Is it Clark?
No.
Is it Dr. Copper?
No.
Oh, I love Dr. Copper. Doesn't he sound like a Victorian, like, mortician that works for the police?
Yeah, sure. But no.
Is it Norris?
No, I don't like him.
Is it Gary?
No.
Is it Fuchs?
Yeah, he's great.
Which one's Fuchs?
He's pretty much the guy who helps Kurt Russell like throughout the whole film. He like kind of confides it about like everything. He's like, oh, the doctor said this, the doctor, and they get on really well. And then he goes outside and dies, and it's really upsetting. Okay, you don't see his death, and he's like one first to go.
Anyway,
They just find his body in the net. Well, yeah,
big ups to Jed.
yeah,
Thing dog.
yeah.
Go Jed. Hero.
John Carpenter said that was the best dog actor he's ever seen.
In my head, he says that like they do in Team America 1, believe. When Gary just sat there and they're like, that's the best damn actor I've ever seen. In my head, there's John Carpenter looking at the dailies, who's like, that's the best dog actor I've ever seen.
Bark, 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 bark. Such a great film.
Sure.
I don't know about Team America.
Oh, good. Then yeah, definitely. 5-star film.
No.
I haven't seen it in maybe 10 years or more.
More on for that.
But yeah, that opening spaceship can really sod off for me. I don't want it there.
Just skip that bit when you watch it.
Yeah, but I think there's good music playing at that bit.
Right, music. Great.
Yeah, it is.
John Carpenter does not do the music.
Sad times. It's got a great 80s synthwave. How can it not be?
Yeah, but it's Ennio Morricone. Man with No Name trilogy.
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars, few dollars.
April 8.
Yeah. He did Wolf, one of your favourite. Well,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah, he's great.
Ross from Friends is in it. Yeah.
My favourite thing about that is everyone will probably agree that, well, a lot of people say that it's a great film, one of the best of all time, sort of thing. The music, everyone says, oh, that's some of the best suspense music, like some of the best movie score, all that. Nominated for a Razzie.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so was Catwoman. That's a masterpiece.
Sure.
I don't think my jokes are working this evening.
I'm not sure if the joke's or not. I'm trying to work out if you're you or not.
Well, I'm thinking the same because you would have appreciated my jokes and you, the real you. Oh, dear me. Are we moving on from this thing to the next thing?
If you want.
Okay.
48 hours ago, we found something quite remarkable.
What'd they find?
There's a structure
In Antarctica.
and a specimen.
Really?
Made on a budget of 38 million and grossing only a poor $31,505,287 worldwide. Directed by Mathis van Heijningen Jr. Written by Eric Heiserer and starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Kate Lloyd, Joel Edgerton as Carter, returning from last week, so he's definitely a thing. Ulrich Thompson, who's recently been cast as Sinestro for the new DCU Lanterns series, as Dr. Stander Halverson. Eric Christian Olsen as Adam Finch. Adewale Akinola Agbaje as Jameson. Paul Braunstein as Griggs. Trond Espensheim as Edvard Volner. Kim Bubbs as Juliet. Jorgen Langheller as Lars. Han Gunnar Royce as Olav. Stig Henrik Hoff as Peter. Christopher Hivju as Jonas. Joe Adrian Hammond as Henrik, Karsten Bjornlund as Carl, and Jonathan Walker as Colin, who was Rankle. That'd be about 08, wouldn't it? Flash Gordon series. 07.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon series.
Yeah.
He's in some other bits, but
Yeah.
that's what I really know from. Taught by Christian Bale's mum.
Yeah.
Oh, and the synopsis, as IMDb has it, oh, this sounds oddly familiar. A group of scientists researching an alien spaceship found in the Antarctic come face to face with the ship's not quite dead occupant. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I found out when we were last watching this that I think this might be my favourite prequel.
Yeah.
That I can think of anyway. Like film anyway.
Yeah.
Like there might be series or books
Book
or
or,
whatever
yeah.
the hell else, but this is definitely my favourite movie.
Mine's Prometheus.
No, it's not. I think it's a great prequel. They were on about remaking it, but they convinced the studio to do
a
it.
prequel.
Yeah.
I mean, it works well as a prequel, and the efforts they went to is phenomenal, really.
Yeah.
To replicate the Norwegian outpost, is it there?
Yeah.
Because that's where Kurt Russell goes to investigate in the 80s one.
Yeah. It all
But
burned.
But the bodies as well.
Yeah.
Because there's like a guy with his neck cut open, isn't there, and wrists cut, I think. As well.
Your favourite guy you mentioned from
Colin.
Yeah.
From Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
All right.
Not him. So that's why when we watched the 82 one, I always say, oh, Flash Gordon guy.
God damn it, Rankle. You deserve better.
Yeah.
I mean, this has a great ending as well with how it just leads into the opening of the 80s one, and I don't mean the flying saucer in space.
No.
This should have opened with a flying saucer in space. No, it shouldn't. Then there's a lot to love about this, and there's a sad story about the special effects work on it.
Yeah.
Because they'd actually done it practical, and then the studio were like, you need to CGI over that.
Yeah, because people expect CGI these days.
Yeah.
Like, if people expect CGI these days, don't do CGI. It'll come as a shock when they go like, that looks amazing.
Yeah. So there's CGI where it's not necessarily needed.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see the cut without it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they use some CGI, I'm sure, to touch things up or make them move a little better, but, you know, they've got full prosthetics done that work.
I'm not being funny there. Said about the budget, like how much of that budget is doing the CGI overlay? Because if they hadn't have done that, they might have made profit.
I don't know how much CGI cost.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, they could have made profit. And not just spending it on the CGI could have cost them profit, but keeping the practical effects would have maybe had more of the original fans on board for watching it in cinemas.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot, it sounded like at the time, if I remember, just not watching it because it was an unnecessary remake. It was a female-led remake when Kurt Russell's the original. Because a lot of people...
You're hating remake?
Yes.
Because that's what people thought.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that
because they never even chose to give it a subtitle.
No. They were on about thinking of other names for it, but not
Norwegian thing.
Nothing worked, and they were just like, the thing actually works. I actually really like the fact they used the thing as well.
Well, it makes it feel like one story in a way, but it's not a great marketing way of doing it.
But I like it on more artistic sort of level of,
or is it the thing?
Yeah. You know, like it's the same, the name, but it's different. Like, not what
I wonder how much of this is lost in the edit as well, though.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more characters in this, it feels, than the 80s one.
Yeah.
You definitely feel there's a lot more characters, and I don't feel like you're really getting to know them all by name.
Yeah, I feel part of that comes from, you feel like there's a lot more characters, mainly because you don't get to know them characters.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. I'm assuming there's a lot cut that actually help you get to know them, or you spending a little more time with them at least.
Yeah.
But Joel Edgerton's great in this.
He's great.
I don't know why he's not the main guy.
Well, you got Christian Olsen. And he's great.
Yeah, but he looks like he knows what an iPad is, according to one internet celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great in it. He just plays such a normal guy.
And he puts him in another one of your favourite prequels.
Yeah.
That we've had on the podcast.
Yeah. Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Underrated prequel, that one. Not a great prequel.
No. Well,
he's great.
It's very in line with the comedy of its time, I would say, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had two people in this movie have been on 2 films previous.
Who's the other one?
Joel Edgerton. We've done 2 films as well.
Why? We've done 2 Eric Christian Olsen films previous.
Yes, but you're not main in the other one. Apparently, I bring it up all the time.
Oh, Cellular?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of your old timers.
Bringing it up all the time.
How long have you been converted into the thing? Well, we recorded Cellular ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like first week of November.
Do you want if I touch you in a match?
I'd rather you not.
So you might think, do you want to see your fillings? That's the thing on this one. Fillings.
Yeah.
The first one. The next one, the 80s one, had blood.
Yeah.
They tested blood. This one, they're like, how does your dentist work?
So,
And they're like, oh, it's a crime to have good teeth.
yeah. How you're wording that then, I wonder where it was going here. Like, the 80s one, it had blood. And then in this one, I thought you were just going to say it has filling. So I just imagine people getting cut open. It's just like some weird filling.
Could really do with more Joel Edgerton in this, though.
I think that about a lot of films. And
Even films he's not in.
yeah. I think it'd have been great if he'd have just been wandering around the 82 movie.
Just in the background.
Yeah.
My problem with this, spoilers, please, because I'm going to spoil the end.
Right.
In fact, no, I won't spoil the end per se, because I won't say who it is.
Right.
But it ends with Mary Elizabeth Winstead
Whoa.
and somebody else,
Nice.
and they manage to escape the thing. And then she turns to the other survivor and just sets them ablaze. And I completely disagree with that ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly for the fact that they then decide they have to confirm that that person was a thing by saying their earring was on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Well, where's the earring coming from? Where do the clothes even come from, actually? Because they can't apparently duplicate organic tissue.
It's still.
Do they actually still? So it would take the earring.
Yeah.
But then somehow it gets other information right about him, but can't put the earring in the right ear.
Yeah.
Which seems a bit odd to me with other things it's done.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that she was supposed to just be pure survivalist and didn't care if they were human and killed them.
Yeah. Similar.
And then I think someone in the studio just goes like, I don't like how she just tortures that human there. Can we make them a thing? And it's like, how? It's like, oh, I don't know, say that earring was in the wrong ear and we'll change it digitally or something. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sit right with me. I would much rather have torched a human for survival and go, like, she gets it. Because that's what Kurt Russell did. Kurt Russell in 82 is a pure sociopath, I tell you. He don't care who he kills or what. He stays calm and collected in every situation, unfazed, like a pure sociopath.
He was in Nam. It doesn't state in the movie. The backstory, him and Carpenter, Kurt Russell and Carpenter
Okay.
came up with.
Oh, then that's why he likes the flamethrower.
Yeah.
He's like, I torched so many Vietnamese. I can do it again with this thing.
Because he's supposed to have insomnia and all this sort.
Yeah.
He mentions being a light sleeper to child.
Yeah. And he's bad at chess because when he loses, he accuses a computer of cheating.
Yeah. That explains why he was in Nam.
I'm just saying it bothers me. He's like, cheater, and then chucks his drink in it.
Yeah.
And just damages a perfectly good computer. Yeah. Which, bear in mind, they were very expensive back then.
That point is the part where it shows you what the length they'll go to win.
Yeah, I guess. He'll sacrifice everything he's got.
Yeah.
Which he kind of does because they burn down the whole station, don't they?
Yeah.
Then it's just him and...
Child.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. I like Keith David. I wish he had hair in that film.
That's who keeps telling me.
He's really good in They Live with John Carpenter. Well, he's not with John Carpenter, but the movie's from John Carpenter.
Yeah.
They keep talking about sequels to that, don't they? But I don't know if they'll do it without the rowdy Roddy Piper there.
Yeah. He should have been in the thing.
Oh, he should have been, yeah.
Like,
With a kilt on. You've got the glasses.
yeah, you go in there, come here to, like, what is it? Come here to chew my bubble gum and kick some ass or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And he haul out the gum. I think it'd have been great if he just said that. And then beats up the thing in a wrestling fight.
That'd be great, actually. No, an alternate cut of the thing with rowdy Roddy Piper's in it. Do you have much trivia on this one?
Not that I haven't really mentioned. Oh, music is apparently by my favourite guy, Marco Beltrami.
Yes.
Yeah.
You love that. He must have been on here more than anyone in terms of the films we've discussed.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We didn't do it last year, and maybe we should have. When we wrap up the end of the year, we should do stats of like the most reoccurring actor, director type thing.
Yeah.
That'd be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, Marco Beltrami has done, like I said, quite a few films covered. I don't know to reel off everything. I will say score is pretty good on
it. I mentioned that they replicated the Norwegian base.
Yeah.
I never mentioned that they did it by knowing Kurt Russell's height and estimating how big to make everything else from that.
Yeah.
What effort?
Yeah.
That is more effort than required, really. I don't think they had to go to the lengths they went to replicate that place.
Nah.
So good. That shows real love for the Carpenter one.
Yeah.
And they're on about doing another remake.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's going to come of it, but we'll see.
They'll do it. No one will like it.
I think if I'm right, what I've read anyway, I could be wrong now, it's been a while, that Carpenter's actually signed off on it happening or something. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just skimming the trivia.
Yeah.
The creature effects were filmed primarily with cable-operated animatronic robots
Yeah.
at the director's insistence,
Yeah.
since it would improve the performances of the cast if they saw what they had to react to.
Yeah.
Then CGI images were planned to be added as elements to animatronics, such as tentacles, if they couldn't be done convincingly.
Yeah.
But
You can't.
well, apparently, those audiences had tests to those screenings.
Yeah.
Some reported comments were that the movie looked much like an 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
To me, that means nailed it.
Yep.
The studio ordered the replacement of most animatronic scenes to be full CGI. That reminds me of something, though. There's been studies done with like kids on roller coasters and like horror theme park rides, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And they've gone on with their parents, and then they've asked the kids, "What did you think to the ride?" type of thing. And they go, "Oh, I liked it. It was scary."
Yeah.
They've asked the parents what they thought the kid said, thought about the ride, and they were like, "Oh, he said it was scary, so we probably won't be going on it again."
Yeah.
So clearly, kids like to have some sort of element of fear, but then the parents have misinterpreted the fun of the fear.
Yeah.
And go like, "Oh, it's scary. Let's not do this again." And I think similar things have happened here.
Things.
Yeah. The studio execs, etc., have gone, "Oh, it looks like an 80s horror," as in, that must be bad.
Yeah.
When really that could have been said with excitement,
Yeah.
or even written with excitement, depending.
Yeah. It's a lot of horror fans. I'm not being funny, and if you talk to some of them, it's more like the ones from 80s.
That's why I wanted to do these films
Yeah.
that we're doing in the what we're calling This Again
Yeah.
season, is because they're all remakes.
Yeah.
All but one is an 80s remake.
Yeah.
All but one, sorry, are 80s remakes of 50s films.
Yeah.
You know, this is 50s. We're going to be doing The Fly. The original Fly is 50s. Going to be doing The Blob. The original Blob's 50s. And then they've been done again in the 80s. And all them effects are practical effects.
Yeah.
In the 80s, and get a lot of compliments for it. The Blob less so, because for some reason the Blob doesn't seem to be as talked about as it used to.
Nah.
I remember when I was at school, just entering Vale, so 02, 01, The Blob was quite a talky film. A lot of people would talk about The Blob. And then somewhere between that and me leaving school in 2006, the cut-off point of talking about The Blob happened.
Can we investigate this phenomenon?
I'm leaning in for those that can't see. We could. But I don't want to talk to the people I was at school with.
Either do I.
But I mean, that's a great compliment, though, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
like an 80s horror. When you're doing a prequel to an 80s horror.
Yeah.
Because it helps with consistency.
Yeah.
Because you can easily watch this and go into the Carpenter one, and they work very well, very, very well as a double feature.
Yeah. We do it pretty much every time.
Yeah, every time we have to watch the Carpenter one, it's like, well, we're watching this before it then.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is a lesser film, and it's mostly down to, I think, editing or cut in story with characters.
Yeah.
That is a bigger problem for me than the special effects.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still some lingering practical shots in there, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
You'd probably have to go frame by frame, and I'm not doing that. But the effects aren't too much of a problem for me. I do wish there'd been a special edition put out of being able to watch it without those effects.
Yeah. And a lot of them practical effects went into another project by that special effects company. It Harbinger Down or something.
Is that an alien film?
And I think Lance Henriksen's in it.
All right.
But that uses a lot of the effects, the practical
Yeah.
effects that they use from there. Obviously changed them enough so there's no copyright issues and all that sort of thing.
Oh, similar to the original, but there was the song choice of Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
This has a song, I'm not familiar with it, by Men at Work. I know Men at Work, they do, is it Land Down? No.
Down Under.
Yeah, that is what it's called. is it?
Yeah. I think it's just Down Under.
Yeah. They have, Kate is listening to the song at the beginning, about 5 minutes in, and it's Who Can It Be Now?
All right.
Great song choice. I don't think it's used as well, and
No.
it's not as well known.
Yeah.
And a lot closer to the original novelist title, I guess, with Who Goes There?
Yeah.
Who Can It Be Now?
Yeah.
That's maybe what I should have called it.
I think it had a few working titles, but in the end, it was just The Thing again.
The Thing again, or The Thing Before?
Yeah. Yeah, I've always enjoyed this one. I don't really have true problems with it. Like you say, it's a lesser film, but it's not a bad film by any means.
No. And I've seen a lot of people coming back to it and respecting it for what it is.
Yeah.
Especially since they've learned, a lot of them seem to have learned that there were practical effects and it was the studio's fault.
And a lot of people also learned that it was a prequel.
Yeah. I mean, it was badly marketed though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. I'll want to get onto the Brighton stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If you look them up at all.
Nightmare on Elm Street remake the year before.
Yeah.
They're a bit hit and miss.
Yeah, I thought the same.
They've got that. Final Destination 5.
Yep.
They do the Lights Out feature film, which is one of my favourite modern horrors,
Yeah.
based on an incredible short.
Yeah.
They do Arrival.
Yeah.
I know you're not a big fan.
Nope.
I like a lot of elements of Arrival. My biggest problem is buying Jeremy Renner as a mathematician.
I thought you were going to say buying Jeremy Renner, or thinking buying Jeremy Renner.
And then you've got Extinction, which I'm not sure if I've seen. It's from like 2018, I think it was.
Yeah.
Bird Box, which I think is phenomenal, based on a book, so I guess it's a little easier to write because you've got your blueprints.
Yep.
And then one of the strangest comic book movies I've seen that maybe shouldn't have had Vin Diesel involved, Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Because Bloodshot's a really cool character when you read up about him.
Yeah.
Because he's from Valiant comic,
Yeah.
Valiant comic.
I don't know, but Valiant Comics were bought by Atari.
Atari?
Yeah, the game
Yeah.
in the 90s, where they could make comic book properties because of the big comic book boom.
Yeah. I mean, Valiant are similar to Image in a way.
Yeah.
They were massive in the 90s.
But God, I think it was Atari. Could be wrong now.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So.
Atari sounds about right.
Or Atari went out of business, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Atari.
Yeah, you can now buy Atari t-shirts. It's cool to wear them and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they, Blade Runner, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah. Atari, anyway, they bought Valiant and pretty much sank Valiant and themselves at the same time.
Well, that's a shame.
So Valiant then had to pick themselves back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still going strong, but they're not in the top
No,
demographic.
they were never really in the top anyway, but now I think
Because to me, they're the closest thing to Image Comics, especially in the 90s.
yeah.
But Valiant actually have like quite a closed-off universe with all their other characters interlinked and stuff.
Anyway, sorry.
But Bloodshot,
Shadowman.
Ninjak.
Shadowman is the one who had the game and what
All right.
the tactic because I wanted to do a Bloodshot game.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember anyway. Yeah. Anyway, that writer also did the movie Hours with Paul Walker, which I haven't seen.
Have I seen?
No.
Right.
I just wanted to bring it up because of Paul Walker.
Right.
Well, you've mentioned a Vin Diesel movie, which is bad, so I thought I'd mention a Paul Walker one. There.
Time for a little walkathon.
Yeah, man. I'm down for a walkathon. Are you?
Yeah, let's get our wheels. We'll do Fast and Furious.
I'm not doing the Fast. I did the Fast and Furious, but I'm not doing anything. Can't believe we've got Marco Beltrami on here again. Is that everything you've come in to say?
I was hoping to see something more interesting, but I haven't. And I think the only note I had on this film I mentioned, and it's about the end, where I think they changed. I think she was just supposed to outright murder a human to make sure she survives. Because obviously, if you suspect they're not human, and then you walk off into the sunset together, essentially, one of them's going to thing out. So might as well just play it safe and burn the accomplice.
Yeah. Or is she the thing?
I was just about to say, is it possible for her to be the thing? Because it would be pretty interesting if she was the thing.
It'd also be weird for her to go like, hey.
Yeah, but does the thing know it's a thing? Do you know what I mean?
I believe
There's not much known about how it operates. Another reason I want to read the book.
Yeah. Probably get no answers there either.
If we'd have had a bit better planning to how we were going to start this year, I'd have probably tried to read the novella.
Yeah. I thought it was a great one to start the remake with, though. A, Joel Edgerton, we did from last week, and B, just the fact it...
Paranoia.
No.
Enclosed environment.
No.
Joel Edgerton.
No, in fact, like, the thing copies people. It shapeshifts.
And that makes it a great one to follow from.
It makes it a great one to start this remake.
Okay, because it remakes.
Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you're the brains in the outfit.
Yeah. I'm not even going to deny that. I like that.
I'm still figuring my part out in the whole thing.
You suggest films to watch?
Yes, I do. And I'm proud of that. Shall I see us out?
Yeah.
The door's there.
Yeah. He might not be here next week.
So we've come to the end of our first episode of This Again, 4 weeks of remakes. Believing the other to be human, although I'm not so sure on that anymore. Thank you for joining us this week, and if you like what you've heard and haven't already, click like and subscribe. A review would also be appreciated. You can follow us on socials at cynic_critique on X and Instagram, and cynic-critique on Blue Sky. Links to those and more can be found in the show's description. Tune in again next week for our next This Again, as we discuss 1981's My Bloody Valentine, and that again with 2009's My Bloody Valentine, but it's 3D. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
In this town on Valentine's Day, everybody loses their heart.